What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a new video. So we just got to the unit. I took my time a couple days ago to basically organize everything. I got my toolbox here. We rearranged the entire unit, switched the car around. I think my slick is going a little flat in front. I can't really tell, but this is basically how it's sitting right now. So we pushed the car in forward because I was sitting there thinking to myself, with the concrete being raised up a good amount like that, it's going to be hard to put the engine back in the car with the engine hoist. So I ended up just basically flipping the car around, so in that way I have a flat surface to roll the engine stand and the engine hoist on. So that way it makes it a lot easier, because no matter what, I was going to have to push the car halfway out to put the motor in. So I rather just put the motor on the hoist itself and then just back the car out and then put the motor in, and then that's basically about it. So we did a couple other things. We got some lights all put up. These are 5,000 lumens a piece. Just like I said, I did want this place to be lit up like crazy, especially for filming YouTube videos. It makes the content look a lot better. So I'm also thinking about that. I wanted to do like 10 or 15,000 lumens, but I think 5 for right now is good. During the day, these actually light up pretty well, which I will show you guys here in a second. I haven't seen what it looks like at night yet. I may stop by sometime tonight and check that out. But I also got my toolbox here as well. I thought it was going to take up a lot more room, but the way I have everything organized, it kind of just works out perfect, especially having the car pulled in. But unfortunately, we did break the passenger side mirror off when backing the car in the first day. So that sucks, because I'm at to back the car all the way out just to fix that. And just like I said, it kind of sucks coming in here because I am limited on space, but the location, just like I said, everything is perfect. So I'm gonna go ahead, turn these lights on, and that way I can show you guys how bright it actually gets in here. So I'm gonna set you guys on my toolbox all the way back here so you guys can see. Oh, let's get it. Boom. So definitely helps out a lot. You guys can see me pretty well. But yeah, it gets pretty bright in here. I do have to fix this one a little bit, because the way I have the cord ran, it's basically having this light facing towards the actual garage door itself. But other than that, it looks pretty legit in here, not gonna lie. So there's a few things that I wanted to get done while I'm here today, which is take the wiring harness out. I want to go through all that, fix a bunch of wires, solder in the fuel injector clips because I just have them twined together, and then probably clean that up a little bit. There's a couple things that I want to change on the car while I'm waiting for the motor to be done and all that. And there's also some issues that I'm running into with the motor as well. So we'll get to that here in a second. All right, so just like I said, we are into some motor issues. As you can see, there's no motor in the car, of course. So the issues that I am having is the machine shop has had my motor for about, I want to say, a month and a half now. And I just called up the other day to get estimate on how long it's going to take, what's going on. Should I even, have you guys finish it? Should I pick it back up and rebuild it myself like the first time? I was told that it should be done in the next week or two before the guy goes on vacation. So he's not really too big on actually getting stuff done in the time that he says. So I think I might go to pull apart this weekend and pull out a stock long block. The only issue with that is the bottom ends, as you guys know, they start to basically destroy themselves anything after 500. I know people have made well over that and have been reliable, but it all depends on the motor and how long it's been treated. Depends on the tune, how hard you beat on the car. There's a lot of variables that go into pushing a stock motor to that limit. And seeing how is I've had stock head issues making a little over 500 on my built bottom end setup. This I said, the car is going to turn into the new blue car, but not to the extreme of that, to where cutting the entire car up to save as much weight as possible. This car with me in it before all the carbon fiber fenders, before the hood, and all that, it weighed 3,000 pounds even with me in the car. That's with the Kirky seat and the carbon trunk. So there's still a lot of weight in the car. I haven't weighed it yet to see what it is with the carbon fenders, the carbon hood, and all that. So I'm very curious. I wanted to get the car around 2,700 to 2,600 pounds with me in it, which is very doable. I got to play my part as well as losing some weight. You know, I got to stop drinking. Anyways, so that is my plan. But just like I was telling a buddy of mine, I don't want to hop into a whole new project when I just want to basically have fun for the car, or have fun with the car for the rest of the season. So if my built motor isn't going to be done in, then say, the next 3 weeks, then I'm most likely going to go pull a stock motor out of a PT-GT and turn it up as much as possible to not only run a 10-second pass with that, but also have fun with the car for the rest of the season. So I don't really know what step I want to take. I don't know if I should just go pull the motor out just to have a spare one in case my built motor doesn't get done in time. Because, like, I don't mind having the car sit for the rest of the season, but if it is going to sit for the rest of the season, then I want to start everything early. Like, pull the fenders off, readjust those, pull this eBay front mount off, pull the engine harness out. The fuse box harness will stay in here because I really don't feel like dealing with that again. Basically, just clean up the engine bay. I'm not going to go too crazy and shave it. I'm just going to go through, clean it, power wash it, and then go ahead and just respray the bay black. It kind of sucks that it isn't white, but I'm just going to go ahead and clean the bay up and just spray it black again. And then there's also a few things that I want to do to the rest of the chassis, like if I'm going full race car, gut everything behind the dash like the old car, but still have the dash intact. There's a good amount of things that I have to get done to the car still. Like, I want to take that seat out and put a Kirky in it. There's a few things in the back that I want to do, like basically gut the entire rear end, take the seats out, build a firewall. And the one thing I do like about this car that I did was the nice trunk setup. The trunk was already like that, but I went ahead and added the fuel cell, which absolutely looks killer in it. I like how hidden the fuel pumps are and like all the wiring and all that. Just like the tuck job is super nice. And I don't want to get rid of that. And like, part of me is like, do I even really want to turn this into a true race car? Or do I want to have it as a fun street car? I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm still on the fence about everything. But yeah, that's basically it about the motor issue that we're having at the moment. But I think what I'm going to do is I might start the process of putting on my adjustable arms in the rear. So I have all brand new adjustable arms. It's just I don't know how well those are going to move. My buddy Caden tried, and that absolutely terrified me because his looked pretty clean, but they didn't come off too well. So in my pile of parts here, I do have down here some brand new adjustable rear arms that I might try to put on while I'm waiting for the motor. And I really want to just go ahead and just try to redo as much suspension as possible while I'm waiting for the motor to get done. So that means like new coilovers, put some sway bars on this thing, put some sway bar end links on it, because I don't think there's a sway bar in the front. There is not. So I would have to buy, most likely, I would have to buy some Hotchkiss front and rear sway bars, because this thing on the highway sways a lot. and I just don't want it to be a straight track car. Like, I want it to be street and strip, and I know it's kind of hard to balance both of those in one chassis. So that's why I'm like not really trying to go full drag car with it, because I have a lot more fun on the street than I do the track, even though it's a lot safer at the track. But there are a few numbers that I want to chase, and that's my goal. But I would also like to have, you know, almost a good looking street car get to those numbers. I don't want to have a fully gutted, non-dailyable car just to run those numbers. So I know it's a lot harder, but it can be done. It's just a lot more work, which I'm willing to put in. So that's the whole kick-a-boodle that I'm trying to get into. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the process of trying to install these rear arms. So I'm going to go ahead, throw some gloves on because I don't want to get too dirty today, but it's whatever. If I do, I don't really care. I'm going to go ahead, get the rear end jacked up and take the rear wheels off, and then go ahead and try to get to removing those arms. So let's get to it. All right, so went ahead and got the car all jacked up. So it doesn't look too bad underneath here. It looks pretty clean, especially in the bolts going through the knuckle there, which was my biggest issue that I thought I was gonna have. Even the bolts through the middle of the subframe don't look too bad either. So as I said, I got the car all jacked up, got the wheels off. I definitely do want to get some of those wheel dollies, just like I mentioned in the last video, because that way I'll just be able to go ahead and move the car wherever I need to. I had to jack the rear end up and then pull it a little bit to the side so I can get enough room on the passenger side to pull the rear wheel off. I should be able to get to both the bolts on the passenger side, because this is how much room I am working with right now. But I jacked it up as high as possible, so that way I can just go ahead and do it on the ground. Most likely laying on my back, having my feet point outside of the unit. So it's definitely going to take some time to get used to, you know, doing this, but I feel like it'll all work perfectly fine. So, and we already ran into an issue when I was moving. I think I lost some hardware for my adjustable arms. So these are the arms I'm going to be using. I purchased these off eBay, I think for like 180 or 160 bucks for the set. They look pretty good quality. So when I got these on eBay, they were like fully painted red with like some silver weird design on these adjustment points. I didn't like the way they looked, but I mean, it was either those or buy ones off Modern. So I went ahead and purchased them, and when I got them, this is how they came. So the link will be down in the description if you guys want to look those up and see what I'm talking about. They pull up like red or blue with like some really weird design on these adjustment points, and for some reason they sent me these nice set of black pairs. I am missing some hardware, so these all came in a pack. It was a pack of 2, and each pack came with 2 of these thick washers here, and I unfortunately lost a set. So I'm either gonna have to go to Home Depot and try to find some washers this size and just get a couple and just stack them together. That honestly looks like I could probably get away with 2 washers, or I could probably grab some from work tomorrow. So I think I might just go ahead and pull the old arms off and then just take these to work and see if I can get something like this or machine something down. So we have a lot of hardware that I can choose from. So I shouldn't have a problem trying to find something like this. So yeah, that's the problem that we are having at the moment. And I guarantee, because this happens all the time, I guarantee that once I find something that works, those washers are going to pop up out of nowhere. I don't really know where they would be. I checked my toolboxes. They might be in a bunch of bolt boxes somewhere. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to pull these bolts off. I think I'm gonna try to start with the bolts through the knuckles, because those are just one long bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead, get down on the ground, and see what I can do to get those off. All right, so I'm actually pretty stoked right now because I started with getting this long bolt out through the back of the knuckle. So this is how clean the bolt is on my car. So not every neon is going to be this clean. Luckily, I was able to have it come out super easy. Probably took me like 2 minutes to get the bolt out, if that. So all you're gonna need is just a 18 mil socket, a 3/8 socket, and then a 18 millimeter wrench. So the way this bolt goes in, it goes in this way. So the actual head of the bolt will be in on this side, and then the actual nut will be threaded on the other side. So I just went ahead and got a 3/8 breaker bar with a 3/8 deep well 18 mil, broke the nut loose on the rear end of the bolt with the 18 mil wrench on the front end of the bolt. So now that I got both of these arms loose on the knuckle, I'm gonna go ahead and loosen the bolt right there going through the subframe. So that also looks like an 18 mil wrench as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and just break it loose by hand, which I recommend doing that first. Don't take an impact to it, because if it is rusty, it may just snap instantly. So I'm gonna go ahead, break that loose, and then if it comes loose pretty easily, I'm gonna go ahead and just walk that bolt out the same way I did with this. I didn't use a hammer to force it out or anything like that. I just took my 3/8 impact and just slowly brought the bolt back out. And then once it got to a point where I couldn't use it anymore, I just went ahead, took the wrench, slipped it over the bolt just like that, and then I used the hammer and hit the wrench just to back it out. So that way you don't hit the end of this and mushroom the bolt and screw the threads up. So the other side looks to be just as clean. Hopefully it comes out just as easy. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take out the middle bolt there, and hopefully we can go ahead and get at least the driver's side arms off and see how toasted these are, because the bushings so far look to be completely ass. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that bolt off and see what we're working with. Oh man. All right. So I don't know how well this angle is gonna be. Let's see. This was a bad day to wear a white shirt, I'll tell you that. So, oh sweet. All right, so it is an 18 mil socket. So I'm gonna go ahead. I need a new creeper. This thing's kind of broke, so I'm gonna go ahead, take the breaker bar, and break this loose by hand first. So it seems to be spinning pretty easy so far, and I see this bolt starting to move, which is a really good sign because I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this either. So it lets me know that this should have come apart pretty easy, which it looks like it is. So oh, that is moving really well. Holy crap. Normally they don't come off this easy. Wow. That is insane. Holy crap. That came off a little too easy. I feel like this is going way too well. We still got to do the other side, which is kind of scary. So that is the bolt that goes through the middle of the subframe. If you guys see on the end of this bolt, there is like this little key right here. This is for setting your alignment. So these do have a factory alignment. Because I do remember when I got this car aligned, the guy that I used to work with, he actually aligned the rear end for me. So these are adjustable if they're able to move. That's like the biggest thing, if they're able to move. So I got the driver's side arms off. Now that I'm under here, I'm just gonna go ahead and start with loosening the passenger side. So same thing, I'm gonna go ahead and break this loose by hand. Just like I said, it kind of helps me out that I just got an alignment done, I want to say like 3 months ago, so these are already broken free. But when my buddy did the alignment on it, he said they moved pretty easy. So honestly, I say if you're gonna do this, definitely loosen and take out the middle bolt first, because it'll actually be easier to remove the bolt going through the knuckle. Because when you go to take the bolt out of the knuckle, there's so much tension from the arms being bolted to the subframe that the knuckle's kind of sunken inwards, and it's putting a lot of pressure on the bolt, so that way you can't easily take it out. So since I took the bolt out through the subframe first, I feel that the bolt coming through the knuckle is going to be a lot easier to take out. So as you guys can see, the bolt through the subframe came out super easy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take out the bolt through the passenger side knuckle, and go ahead and pull this one out. So that's what I have to pull out next. That bolt right there. So I'm gonna go ahead, set you guys back up, and get to pulling this other bolt off. Man, not gonna lie, this is rough. I hate working on the ground, but sometimes you just gotta do what you do. Maybe one day we'll get another shop and get a lift. So sometimes you gotta take a step backwards to go forward. So I feel as if that's what I'm doing. All right, so as you guys see, I got both of the rear arms off. Just like I said, taking off this middle subframe bolt first definitely makes it a lot easier to pull that bolt going through the knuckle off. I was able just to unbolt the nut and literally slide the bolt right out. The bolt on the passenger side was a little bit rustier than the driver's side. You can see right there how rusty that one is. So I got all the arms off. These are the stock arms, these are the adjustable arms, just so you can see the big difference. These are adjustable to a certain point with these right here. I'm not sure if I have to take this off. I'm almost positive I do, which is probably why they give you these washers right here. So that way you don't have to run these. I'm gonna do a little bit more research tonight. Just like I said, I can't really install these just yet because I don't have all the washers to install one side, unfortunately. So I'm pretty sure those washers replace these right here, since you are no longer adjusting these arms through the center of there, and you are adjusting them with these adjustment parts right here. As you can see, you just hook up a wrench to the middle swings, or the middle spins, and then these are just the lock nuts at the bottom. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to install all of them just yet. I could install 2 of them, but just like I said, I want to go ahead and find washers like these at work. And I know I have washers that look exactly like this, just I don't think it's thick, so I'm gonna have to probably get 4 of them to get the same measurement that these are. So this is basically going to be a 2-part video. This one was just explaining how to basically disassemble everything, take everything apart, what to do and what not to do, so you don't go through the hassle of breaking these bolts, because these are the ones that go through the knuckle, and when these are rusty, these are super prone to snap and get seized inside the knuckle, and you don't want to go through that, nor do I want to see you guys go through that. So luckily, I got really lucky with this and how these came out so nice and easy. Hopefully they go in super nice and easy, but we'll never know until we get to that point. So as always, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And if you guys want one of these dope, awesome shirts, says White's Performance right there. And I'll show you guys a picture of the back at the end of the video. But these will be for sale on pre-order. Just message me personally. All the information will be down in the description below, like my Facebook, my Instagram, and all the shirt sizes and prices. as well as both the shirts that I have currently for sale. I'll, just like I said, show you at the end of the video. But as always, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Peace.